Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Rchaha Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the Great Millstone GMS, who rule well and who teach well. And salutations to the elect, Adawan Ratazah, which means Lord willing. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So this incident that happened recently in Australia with this mass deletion, all right, we've seen more updates regarding this. All right, and it's centered around the small caps people. You know who I'm talking about when I say that. Of course, I use code words. All right. Bear with me. Sorry about this. Yeah, Salaki for that. Yeah. So yeah, this is centered around the small caps people. You know what I mean when I say that. All right. I don't intend for this lesson to be long. Just get one precept out, and Lord willing, it's quick. Through the Spirit. All right, so yeah, you got various articles going in on this. In fact, I'll refresh it. All right, there's going to be updates on this. BBC 11 unalived. I say it that way. You know why? In shooting targeting the JJ community at Australia's Bondi Beach. Police say from the BBC one day ago. All right. What we know so far about the Hanukkah attack. All right. Sky News was an fill in the blank attack in Australia inevitable an hour ago. Sky News. The Guardian, Australian Prime Minister rejects Netanyahu's linking of Palestine recognition to Bondi Beach attack. 4 hours ago, ABC News, act of pure evil, 15 unalived in Australian shooting targeting small hat community. Officials say, yeah. All right. So, yeah, this is pushed forth as an attack on the big nose people. All right. And this is the accuser of the brethren. All right. They're building a case. All right. So expect, sleeper cells to pop up. All right, pop, 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 skitty kip, pop, 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 tuk, tuk, dum, skia, pop, 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 dum, boom, boom. All right. So expect more sleeper cells. All right. It wouldn't surprise me. At this stage in the game, nothing surprises me, and it shouldn't surprise you either. Okay. The wicked elites, all right, of E, the Dukes of E, the nobility of E, all right, those international-ish, you wish, banking families, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, Oppenheimers, the Gettys, the usual suspects, right? All right. They like to play the victim, okay? And ultimately, they're the ones running everything behind the scenes, and have their puppets in place doing their bidding, okay? And yeah, E, all right, from the top E down to the bottom E, all right, they all like to play the victim. And when E plays the victim, they're prepared to attack. All right? You see? Remember, Australia was very tyrannical during the period of the C-19. Don't forget about that. Okay? Oh, yeah. All right? So, they're getting ready to crack down. Yeah? Okay? And, of course, we are in the high holy day of Hanukkah, by the way, of course. All right? So, many things are happening through the Spirit. All right? You see? But yeah, you got many people that are just ignorant to the plot that the evil elite are doing. But then again, there are a lot of people that do see what's, what they're doing, what's going on. They're hip, to things. They're catching on. People are waking up. All right. But again, you got like a lot of the masses just, just blind. Okay. But, we're not ignorant to Satan's devices. We know how the red Hebrew E gets down, okay? And we're watching everything. We're being circumspect, man. We're analyzing everything. You got to. All right? So let's go to the book of Revelation. Chapter 12. And verse 10. And it reads, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night." Right? Who's the accuser? E. Okay. So this is another invention, all right, of the devil in order to accuse. Yeah. So E is gearing up, getting ready to accuse and categorize you Jakes. All right, it's coming heavy and all. All right. Let's go on a few of these articles. So from Al Jazeera, Bondi Beach attack. What do we know about the victims, suspects? Here is a list of some of the 15 people unalived in the Bondi Beach incident, based on reports. Australia is mourning the victims of the Sydney's Bondi Beach attack. Vigils were held a day after two armed men unalived 15 people at a Ish Hanukkah celebration on Sunday. At least 40 people remain in hospital following the attack, including two police officers who are in a serious but stable condition, police said. They said the shooting suspects are a father-son duo. Here is what we know about the victims and the shooting suspects. What do we know about the Bondi Beach shooting victims? The victims were aged between 10 and 87 years, according to the police. Here is what we know about 8 of the 15 victims based on local media reports. Forgive me. Rabbi Eli Schlanger, the 41-year-old, was an assistant rabbi at Chabad Bondi, a global small organization that had organized Sunday's event at a park near the famous beach. Schlanger was British-born but had lived in Sydney for the past 18 years and had recently become a father for the 5th time. Okay, and there's more on the people. Okay. There was a live update. Alright. Yeah, The Independent. Alright, okay. Monday 15th of December, today, 2025. Bondi Beach shooting latest suspect who pledged allegiance to Islamic State had T-error link probed before attack. One of the gunmen involved in the Bondi Beach mass shooting had previously been investigated over links to a Sydney-based Islamic State T-error ISM cell. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has said. All right, and the mass persecution is coming. They're trying to link us, to Islam as well, that false religion. Naveed Akram, 24, had been investigated for 6 months in 2019 by ASIO, the country's domestic intelligence agency, according to ABC. It found no evidence that he had planned or considered planning any act of violence. Counter-terrorism police believed Akram and his father Sajid, 50, had pledged allegiance to the terror group, according to the broadcaster. 2 ISIS flags were reportedly found in their car. At least 15 people unalived in an anti-Semitic terrorist attack at an event called Chanukah by the Sea of Sydney, Bondi Beach on Sunday. Police have said, yesterday. Okay. Yeah. So, soon they're getting ready to accuse, you Jakes. And it's coming heavy and all. They're pushing that focus towards Jake. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. All right, they're getting ready to make Jake the ultimate threat. All right. Revelation chapter 12, verse 10 again. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. You see that? He damn well knows that his time is extremely short. That's why, they're going all out, man, setting up different things. Okay, so expect these type of events to increase. All right, especially next year. Who knows? Something major could even happen around or even on Christmas Day. And Lord willing, something does happen. Okay. Recently the Bulgarian government resigns following mass anti-corruption protests. Okay. The Bulgarian Prime Minister, Rosen, is, he handed in his government resignation after weeks of mass street protest over its economic policies and failure to tackle corruption. Bulgaria being a country in Eastern Europe. Okay. Protesters even accuse the government of widespread corruption. All right. You see that? So, hey, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people are mourning. You see? That's why there's all these uproars and protests around the world, man. Okay. All right. But yeah, the sleeper cells, remember. Okay. All right. Getting back to this. In fact, let's go to chat. What are sleeper cells? Sleeper cells are small groups of covert operatives, most often associated with espionage or T-Error ISM, who live normal, inconspicuous lives within a society while secretly awaiting instructions to act. You see that? Here is a clear breakdown. What defines a sleeper cell? Inactive for long periods, members remain, open quote, asleep, end quote, sometimes for years. They blend into society, they hold regular jobs, families, and social lives, kind of like spies. Secret allegiance, they are loyal to an external organization, state, or extremist group. Activated later, they carry out tasks only when instructed. Typical purposes, intelligence gathering, sabotage or attacks, right? Logistical support. In fact, let me just type it in again. Yeah, small secret groups of operatives usually linked to a larger organization that live normal, outwardly ordinary lives while remaining inactive for long periods. They are trained and positioned in advance, waiting to be activated when given orders. See, we bring these things out through the Spirit, man. You ain't gonna get this from church. Hey, it's the last place you'll get this information. Key characteristics: covert members hide their true affiliation and blend into society. Going over it again. So inactive until needed, they may remain dormant for years. Pre-positioned, often placed in strategic locations, cities, institutions, countries. Directed externally, activation usually comes from a central leadership. Excuse me. All right. So you've got espionage. Intelligence agencies may use sleeper agents to gather information or influence events. T-Error ISM. Some extremist groups have used sleeper cells to plan or carry out attacks once activated. All right. Cybersecurity. Metaphorical use. The term is also used for dormant malware or backdoor accounts that activate later. Okay. So yeah, an example, non-specific. A sleeper cell member might hold a regular job, have a family, and participate in community life, while secretly maintaining training, contacts, or resources until receiving a signal to act. Alright? Won't need to go further into that. Okay? Okay, so that's this is what I believe that is. Okay? I don't believe it's a random thing that that attack that took place. Clearly a narrative is being painted and they're supposedly attacking the JJs. But then again, random attacks can and do happen. But in this case, I don't believe this one is. All right, so you want to keep your eyes peeled. Okay. All right, because a lot of things are carrying on. All right. Look at this. Rising Latin singer gunned down in LA may have been settled by friends. All right. Love of many is waxing cold. Okay. Because iniquity is abounding, sin upon sin. All right. Canada's proposed law could make preaching the Bible illegal. In December 2025, Canada advanced Bill C9, a proposed hate speech. All right. Okay. US orders Ethiopians without legal status to leave in 60 days. America cancels 85,000 visas, thousands of Nigerians affected. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled, man. So, a lot of it in this lesson was edifying. All right. And, yeah, I'm going to say, in closing, Kal Halal Yahweh. Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rukakodash forevermore. Alright? You got Russia saying British soldiers operating in Ukraine are legitimate targets. Alright, I'm just looking at, some other things in the news in Sweden headlines. Alright. From another device. Alright. Canada begins euthanizing inmates jailed for open quote hate crimes, end quote. Alright. Trump signs EO declaring fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction. Alright. UK system fails as number of adults asylum seekers posing as children quadruples. This is from the peoplesvoice.tv. You can type that in on Google. Alright. But yeah, alright. I'm gonna say Mawath Lababal. Alright. And shalom to the elect. Respect.